16th edition of the EARTO Innovation Awards. And as every year, of course, we have a wide range of RTO's work, which are presented through two categories. We have the impact expected and the impact delivered. And our next Innovation Award ceremony will be taking place in Brussels on the 23rd of October. So we have 6 months to prepare for this event. And on the right side of your screen, you see some basic figures that we usually gather every year in order also to prepare our brochure, which is published every year during our Innovation Award ceremony. So as you can see on the screen, at the moment, since 2008, we have received more than 300 applications so far from 23 countries. Of course, throughout Europe, and of course, we have some also members around the globe. So these are the main figures that you can see that we have gathered so far. And if we go through the next slide, we have made a small calculation, and we gathered some figures of the applications that we have received the last 10 years. So in total, we have collected around 300 applications, and the most interesting is the two columns that you can see in the middle of this graph, which represents the participation of our smallest members. So the overall participation throughout these past 10 years is 22%, and only 1/10 have been on the podium. So also this is very interesting for all of you, and it is one of the main reasons why we have decided to organize the webinar today. So we really want to attract the involvement and the awareness of all our members, really to take part in this activity. Okay, so these are the main figures that we have collected. And if we go to the next slide, you can see an overall introduction of this year's timeline. So as you might know, we have launched the call for applications for this year in late January, and we usually give 2 months to receive applications in both categories. So today we are on the 6th of March, so we have more than 30 days to receive applications. So right after the deadline of the applications, we give the applications to our external jury task force in order to pre-select, as Khadija said earlier, from 5 to 10 applications, which will be delivered to our external jury for them to select which ones will be on the podium for each category. As you can see on the screen, you have the names of the external juries who were actually the same people participating in our activity also last year. So we have an MEP. We try really to vary our external juries and to have the perspective from different landscapes. So these were the juries that participated last year and also this year. Okay. So, and as I already told you, we are planning to organize our ceremony to unveil the results of all this activity in late October here in Brussels. So if we move forward, we are not planning to go through all the details of applications from both categories because Arman Nashef will give an extensive presentation for both categories, and also from his perspective as he was a jury in our internal task force for several years. So just to give you some basic information on our site. We are really try to check the characteristics for both categories. So the elements that we take into consideration for the impact delivered category is that the innovation should have social, environmental, and economic relevance, should have innovative originality, so be today on the market and has proven already its impact because it's something that which has been delivered already. And on the right side of your screen, for those who are not aware, we just put some characteristics that can be found also in the documents that we usually circulate to the General Assembly members. So the document that needs to be filled in by all of you. So these are the elements for the innovation impact delivered. And if we go to the next slide, you will see more or less the same information for the other category, for the impact expected. The only differentiation, which is big, and kind important, is that since we are talking about impact expected, we anticipate results, we anticipate relevance, and we anticipate that the final service or the product will go to the market on the following years. And of course, the big difference of these two categories is the TRL level that, of course, Armand will discuss and explain to you more in details from his perspective as well. So these were the general information that we wanted to share with you. So I can stop here before introducing and giving the floor to Armand Nachef, EU Affairs Advisor from CEA, who will give his views and tips on how to best apply this year.
Okay,
Okay.
Thank you, Khadija, for your welcome remarks, and Eleni for your presentation on the aspects and figures of the very honorary EARTO Innovation Awards. So the EARTO Innovation Awards rewards those who work hard and who advance technologies and make our world evolve. My presentation today is made up of two parts. The first reflects my experience, which lasted 7 years to promote the EARTO Awards at CEA and help prepare of the application. This experiment lasted from 2015 to 2021. I'm proud that out of the 7 applications, we received we received the first award 4 times and the second award 1 time. So the second part of my presentation concerns my feedback as a member of the EARTO Award Task Force to evaluate the applications, and which lasted 5 years. So it's natural to immediately think of a conflict of interest. You will see for yourself at the end of the webinar that the EARTO evaluation procedure is very fair and that there is no conflict of interest. In my presentation, I'll spend more time on the first part than on the second part. I would say there are 3 key words to keep in mind when applying for the EARTO Innovation Awards. 1 is social impact, 2 is economic impact, and 3 is honorary awards. The annual EARTO Innovation Awards don't use monetary recognition and must not give the impression of monetary value, but emphasize providing formal, highly symbolic recognition of the significant contributions award winning RTOs. This slide about the key requirements for the EARTO Innovation Awards repeats the previous presentation by Eleni. So let me quickly repeat it. So the two categories, EARTO Award Impact Expected and EARTO Award Impact Delivered, have two features in common. The rewarded innovation shall have first in one innovative originality and two social and or economic relevance. The difference is that for the category impact expected, the innovation is not yet on the market as a final product or service, and it promises to have a great impact within the next 5 years. For the category impact delivered, the innovation can be found on the market today as a product or service, and it has proven its impact. Therefore, you need to check that your innovation meets the award criteria. However, the most important thing is to be convincing and to present evidence. So it's crucial to check if you are in a position to obtain the information you need for the application. Um, so there is no point in applying if your innovation does not qualify for one of the EARTO Innovations Award. As the saying goes, to cook well, you need good ingredients. So I like very much the funnel paradigm that is a concept often used in marketing. It refers to the process through which potential customers, for us here, innovation candidates, move through different stages before making a purchase. For us, is applying to the EARTO awards with the selected candidates. The funnel is often depicted in an inverted pyramid or funnel shape, hence the name. So here is a typical breakdown of the stages within the funnel paradigm. The awareness is the stage where you become aware about innovations in your RTO that might fit with the EARTO award criteria. Such innovations might come across your RTO through various channels, depending on your organization, such as Europe Network. In CA, we have a Europe Network, word of mouth, press releases, etc. At the consideration stage, you make a first selection of the innovation you can consider for the EARTO awards. However, as an EARTO award member, you may submit up to 3 applications with a maximum of 2 applications in the impact delivered category, and one application in the impact expected category. So you must therefore make a new selection to keep a maximum of 3 innovations depending on the availability of resources. So next year you can put back into the funnel the innovations that were not selected in the third stage. So note that the selection procedure depends very much on each organization. So my feedback on this aspect is of maybe of little interest. Sorry, because I moved my yes, it could work again. So there is something we have observed by experience. One main fact that also the RTOs are very innovative. It's not so easy to find good candidates for the EARTO Innovation Awards. So the best way to solve this problem is to understand the reasons why stakeholders, both researchers and business leaders are reluctant to apply, and then find a way to resolve these issues. So the following 4 slides will deal with this subject. So, what are the reasons that prevent an innovative company manager from applying for a honorary price that's unfunded? So there are several reasons. First, that innovative companies may have relatively small teams and limited resources, meaning that employees are often called upon for many different tasks and projects. In this context, devoting time and effort to applying for a honorary award may be considered an additional burden that is not a priority. So the cost associated with preparing and submitting application may be considered prohibitive for some RTOs, particularly in terms of time, labor, and resources. Secondly, for many businesses, especially startups and SMEs, priority is given to revenue generation and business growth. So the time and resources required to prepare and submit the application may be seen as an investment that does not directly contribute to the financial performance of the company. Third, some required evidence such as details about products, business strategies, or intellectual properties may be considered as company confidential information. Business leaders may be reluctant to share this sensitive information with third parties, even when applying for an honorary award. Four, the business leader may be unfamiliar with the process of applying for innovation awards and may perceive it as complex and time-consuming tasks. So lack of knowledge on how to write a compelling application can also be a barrier. And finally, the five, maybe there are more. Some business leaders may place more value on other forms of recognition, such as strategic partnerships or testimonials or testimonial from satisfied clients. So what are how we can solve the answers to this issue? So here are some strategies to encourage business leaders to apply to the EARTO award. So you can highlight the importance of the honorary recognition and increased visibility to the company would receive as yes, when the company will receive the prestigious EARTO award. You can explain how this could strengthen the company's reputation and provide it with a platform to promote its innovations and achievements. You can also highlight the long-term benefits to the business, such as increased credibility with customers, investors, and potential partners, as well as opportunities to networking and partnership that could result from recognition associated with the award. So, if possible, you can showcase examples of similar companies that have benefited from participation in the EARTO Innovation Awards, highlighting the positive results they have achieved in terms of recognition, visibility, and commercial growth. So if business leaders are concerned about the disclosure of confidential information, assure them that EARTO have protocols in place to protect the confidentiality of all information submitted in the framework of applications. Five, highlight the technical and editorial expertise available to prepare the application if you can afford them. 6, you can highlight how participating in the EARTO Awards can help motivate and inspire team members and creating a sense of pride and collective accomplishment. So other points are you can tell other points like networking and opportunity and partnership opportunities, the fact that being recognized by peers and experts external to the company can serve as important validation of innovation and the quality of work accomplished. This could strengthen the company's credibility in the eyes of customers, investors, and potential partners. And can point out that the received EARTO award can be attractive factors for potential talents. This could help the company attract and retain top talent in a competitive market. So there are many reasons to apply. Now we are going to have the same question, but this time for research laboratory working with innovative companies. This is very important. Then, for example, for the expected impact category. So actually, both business leaders and researchers have a close concern, you can see on the slide, with a few nuances. In summary, the reasons that may prevent a research or technology lab leaders from applying include research-focused priorities, time and resource constraints, the falsely assumed complexity of the process of application, because you will see that the process of the EARTO process of application is quite easy, quite simple. The uncertainty of potential benefits, concerns about the privacy and intellectual property, and the need for financial recognition. The answers are also the same. The motivation for applying can be varied, ranging from professional recognition to validation of the quality of work to increase the visibility and influence in the field of research. So it's important to highlight the long-term benefits and opportunity for her or his professional career, and for the laboratory and its research projects. You can explain how this could strengthen the lab's reputation, draw attention to its research projects, and open up a new opportunity for collaboration, and why not for funding. Moreover, you can provide the technical and logistical support to help researchers prepare necessary documents, and we'll see this is really very important. So this is the objective of this slide. Having a dedicated engineer, so we can call her or him as an application manager, a manager that is responsible for putting together and submitting applications files, has several significant advantages. The methodology to choose the innovation or so the first advantage is the methodology to choose the innovation or innovations which will be candidates. We saw the funnel. This work could be collegial and carried out in a central service, but in any case, application manager must participate in the selection. She or he can provide additional expertise in selecting appropriate innovations that fit with the EARTO award evaluation criteria. This increases the chance of successful applications. The application manager are often trained to be methodical and skilled in technical writing. They can therefore present the research work in a clear, concise, and convincing manner, highlighting the technical and innovative aspects of innovations. So application prepared by an application manager often benefit from a professional and polished presentation, which can have a very positive impact on evaluators and increase the chances of success. So the third reason is that researchers are often busy with the research and even business leaders. And sometimes, yes, so having a dedicated manager to assemble and submit application documents allows them to fully concentrate on their work without having to invest time in preparing application documents. Four, she or he can effectively manage the application process and submit the files on time without compromising the quality of the work. After submitting the application by experience, we know that she or he can provide any additional documentation required, thus simplifying the process of for researcher and for their industrial partners. Five, that having a dedicated application manager to manage application ensures some continuity and expertise in the EARTO application process over the years. Now we are going to the good practices. So there are three essential steps in writing in the writing process. Step one, pre-writing, includes selecting which innovation will be a candidate, and it includes assembling the evidence, the proof and the evidence. Step two, writing includes or drafting includes creating an outline for each section of the application form, writing sentence and paragraph even if they are not perfect, reading what you have written and judging if it says what you mean, writing more, rereading, and so on. Step three, proofreading involves asking someone else, the stakeholders, to check your works. About writing, as you say, as you know, the EARTO prize is recurring every year. So try to start this process well before the call opens. So you need to read the criteria carefully, spend time planning your application, and ensure you can obtain thorough and diverse evidence to support your applications. You can invite the innovation stakeholders to have a look to the EARTO Innovation Awards internet site. This is very, very helpful. We spoke about the funnel for the innovation selection, so you can add new innovations to the funnel and make sure you have a list of people to provide you with evidence and to review the application. You can start gathering the evidence, but it's important to emphasize the importance of innovation, but we must also not hesitate to recognize the limits of the technologies. So there are many ways for drafting uh, uh, But I would say they are outside of the scope of this webinar. I'm not going to provide good practices how to write an application. However, the master word I would say is the evidence. So impact evidence is not the same as outcome evidence. The most challenging thing to evidence is also the impact over time. What is the sustainability of your innovations? You need to proofread again and again. This is a very important step in drafting. So now let us go to the second part of the presentation, the evaluation and selection process of the EARTO Innovation Award. So it's made, it's a two-stage procedure. The first stage So in the first stage, the steering committee of EARTO nominate a task force in order to screen the applications. I think in the task force there are 5 or more members. So the task force selects up to a maximum of four, sometimes five applications in each category. So it selects those proposals which it considers to be of the highest quality. In the second stage, I was not concerned in the second stage. The steering committee of EARTO chose a jury of persons to represent the worlds of research, innovation, industry, and public service. So a majority of the members of the jury shall be independent of EARTO and the EARTO members. So the jury evaluates all the retained proposals in stage one that were selected by the task force and selects the applications and yes, and selects the winner applications. So every member of the task force and the jury signs an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. So let us go to the evaluation criteria. So there are 5 evaluation criteria. One is the promotion of the EARTO profession to potential customers and a wider political and general audience. The second criterion is the societal and economic relevance and the impact of the innovation. Three is the originality of the innovation, how it goes beyond the state of the art. For the practical applications in the real world. And finally, the last application that's very important is the financial viability. So proof and evidence are required in all cases. This is so the evidence make the applications more credible. And then what I did here, so we can say each application is evaluated by all the task force experts, unless the expert works for the EARTO that submitted it. So all evaluations are normalized. So I've given in this slide a simple example. We can see that normalization is I don't know if we say normalization or standardization. I would prefer normalization is more sophisticated because the example is very simple, but it's more sophisticated if you go into detail. So we can trust Khadija, Eleni, and all EARTO members that because I noticed that it was very well done. The normalization of expert scores is an essential practice to guarantee the objectivity, reliability, validity, and fairness of the evaluation process. It avoids the individual bias, as each expert may have his or her own rating scale or be influenced by personal factors. So normalization helps to mitigate these biases by aligning assessments on a common scale. Therefore, decisions taken on the basis of this evaluation are more robust. Last slide. So after the experts have submitted all the scores, the task force meeting has several important yes, thank you. That have several important positive points. So the jury members often come from different backgrounds, which brings a diversity of perspectives, experiences, and expertise. This diversity can enrich debates and discussions, thus offering a more complete vision of the application examined. The task force meeting allows for collective decision making where members openly discuss the strengths and the weaknesses of an innovation application. And so as the meeting aims to achieve consensus for a majority of opinions, which can lead to more robust and credible decisions. So the task force member can ask questions to get a more complete understanding. The discussions can help identify and correct potential biases, thus promoting more objective decisions. And knowing that the task force has made a decision after a thorough evaluation can build confidence in the process. So finally, when the evaluation criteria are not fair for a specific domain, during the task force meeting, this injustice can be corrected. For example, when evaluating an innovation on rare diseases compared to one on other serious and more prevalent diseases, one of the difficulties we face is comparing innovations that are both very interesting and very different. So how do you compare a good apple with a good orange? So do you have the right to say that apples are better than oranges or vice versa? So to conclude, as I said at the start of the meeting, I'm proud that the CAA won five of the 7 applications I prepared. Deep down, I was just as proud the other 2 times we didn't win, because I'm sure we presented some excellent innovation, and the laws of probability means we cannot always win. So the most important thing is not to win, but is to apply to the EARTO Innovation Awards and to do everything possible to win. That's how within EARTO we can all progress together. Thank you. I think yes, we are just on time.
Yes, Armand, thank you very much for this extensive presentation. Really interesting to see that at CEA you started developing a strategy from the start to actually trying to encourage your people to think through the process 1 year in advance and actually prepare even before the call for applications is out, because I think that this is also key. We know that there is always a problem for the people in their everyday work, and the timing that we give them is only 2 months. But indeed, as this is an activity that we have every year, it is interesting to see that you prepare well in advance and have a team organized around this activity inside CEA, where the same person or the same project leader could work every year on preparing the application. And I think you gain a lot of experience doing it in that sense. So thank you very much for this presentation. Thank you, Armand.
Thank you, Khadija. Yes, actually, we can consider the EARTO awards calls are always forthcoming. We are used to this word with Horizon Europe, so you can say that are always forthcoming. Try to prepare them in advance and to put innovations in the funnel.
Okay, no, that's great. That's great to hear. So we have asked in the chat whether some people have questions to ask. So don't hesitate to send us your questions in the chat or to raise your hand, and we will give you the floor. For now, I see that there is one question, and the question is, are applicants informed of the selection by the task force after stage 1? And I can give the floor to Eleni to reply to this question on our process of informing the applicants, if you want.
Yes, thank you, Khadija, for giving me the floor. In fact, during the stages, we try really to give not so much information to the applicants and to unveil the results right after the first and the second stage. We are not in the position of sharing the pre-selection applications right after the internal task force meeting, because we give the opportunity for our external juries to select the final winners, let's say. So right after stage 2, we let everyone know about the results of the deliberation of the external juries. I hope I replied to the question.
Yes, thank you, Eleni. Indeed, after the external jury, we give the name of the 6 finalists. We usually have 6 finalists, but we don't give the ranking. This is to be discovered during the EARTO Innovation Awards ceremony, which takes place this year on the 23rd of October in Brussels. And it will be organized together with the EARTO policy event. But before going to that, has anyone any question about the Innovation Awards process and the application process and the presentation of Armand? Yes, Tanya, please. We don't hear you. Your mic is
You're
on.
muted.
Okay. Sorry. Better now?
Yes, good.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, good. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to ask a question. I actually had a question concerning the impact delivered category, which starts, as I could see, at TRL 7. So my question is the following. Concerning all the criteria that you described, and there are a lot of questions about market, well, let's call it business plan, but a projection of a business plan. It seems to me that if the innovation is just at TRL 7, it is quite difficult to describe all those things compared to the innovation that is, for example, at TRL 8, and that has already initial market introduction. So what is your opinion on it? I mean, if we are TRL 7, is it even possible to obtain the award in the impact delivered category?
Thank you, Tanya. Armand, would you take this one, please? As a jury,
Yes,
as a former jury
yes,
member.
it's better to apply with an innovation of TRL 8 or 9, for sure. You are right. You are right. But 7 is we can promote if it's we can are convincing that your application is working and it will be solid. It will have a big commercial impact. So why not? So I gave the example of rare diseases. So for some innovations, they don't have big economic impact. So why not? You can, if you come with a TRL 7, it does not make a big a major difference because it's validated. So it will depend on the case. But so actually, it's not so easy to always find to come every year with an innovation with TRL 8 and 9.
For sure.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Armand. Thank you, Tanya. Anyone else? Any other question, or you think that the presentation gave you enough information to start the process? So if we have no other question, we can close the meeting now, and we will close by so informing you indeed on the schedule for the event, which will be the EARTO October events on 23rd of October in Brussels. It will be in the afternoon, and we will have right before the Innovation Awards ceremony, we will have the EARTO policy event. So we hope that by 29th of March, you will have applied to the Innovation Awards, and that your applications will be among the pre-selected by the jury. And we would be happy to have you with us on the 23rd of October to receive the deserved prize. Anyway, there are only winners. We are always happy to communicate around all the innovations that have applied over the year. So please bear in mind that we will make a short article on each innovation that we will publish on our website, and to raise the visibility on the RTO's category and on each RTO, taking the time and doing the effort in applying to this Innovation Awards. So thank you all for attending this webinar. Do not hesitate if you have other questions. You can still send them to us by email. We'll do our best to reply to those questions. So thank you for attending, and we hope to see a big number of applications coming our way by the 29th of March. Again, thank you, Armand, for taking the time and for your presentation. Thank you, Eleni. And to all of you, have a good afternoon. Thank you.